Yeah, thanks for the invite, Marlene, and thank you to all of you that I can just pop in for a few minutes before your coffee and tea break. To the new clients, you've made the best decision of your life, and it's definitely not a 3-month journey. In fact, my view is it should be a forever journey, and it'll be a forever journey on the basis of 2 things. Because I often get asked that and say, well, how long does this coaching thing take? Forever, based on 2 things. 1, you want to continue to grow. If you don't want to grow, if you've got to a point in your life, you're going, well, I've got enough of everything. I'm healthy enough. I'm fit enough. My relationships are perfect. My bank account's perfect. My business is perfect. Then fire Marlene today. Because if you don't want to grow, you don't need a coach to help you get there. So, that's the first thing. As long as you're wanting to continue to grow, you should have a coach forever. The second point is, are you making money to pay for the coach? And whilst there might be some months that you make more than others, some months that you're under, as long as on average you're making more than you're investing, you should do this forever, because business is not getting simpler. Life is not getting simpler. It's getting more complicated. The rate of change is exponential. And, as you rightfully said, Cheryl, it's a lonely journey. So you cannot do this on your own. I don't care who you are. Now, today is an important day because if you're new, you might be doing this properly for the first time. For those that have been at a lot of growth clubs, and there are a few of you here today, you go, oh, well, goal setting. I set all these goals before. I don't realize them. I don't achieve them. What's the point? And I heard that a lot at the end of last year. People saying, well, set these goals. COVID, Corona, Omicron, government, economy, what's the point? Well, if you don't have goals, you lack focus. If you don't have focus, you have nothing. Because what we focus on, we can influence and we can impact. If we don't have anything to focus on, then other things steal our focus. And that's why you need goals. And I know Marlene's going to do it with you. In fact, I'll share it in the chat box just now. I wrote an article on this, how to set goals. And our team this is my expectation of them. So it'll be my expectation of you too. You have excitement every year. So maybe I'm going to put in the chat box there. On a scale of 0 to 10, how excited are you about the year ahead for you? Whether it's your life, your person, as a person, how excited are you about 2022? So, put a score out of between 1 and 10 in there, and let's see how everybody is. So, some 10s there, fantastic. Everybody's really excited about the year. Wonderful. A 9, 8, yeah, we'll still take those. Those are distinctions. They're not government passes, they're proper passes and proper distinctions. So, 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s. Fantastic. Now, that's every single January. Every single January. Everybody comes back with renewed energy, focus, all the rest of it. Now type in how certain you are of achieving your goals this year. And I'm not talking about hope and pray and dream and fantasy. As you sit there today, how certain are you of achieving your goals for the year? And again, a score of 0 to 10 in the process. And let's see what people have put up there. So, again, some very high scores, some good certainty, and all the rest of it. And I'm telling you now that you're all pathological liars. And you're bullshitting yourself, everybody looking in that chat, and me in the process. Because if you had that certainty, you wouldn't be here. If you had that certainty, the goals that you'd set in the past would have been realized. We don't have the certainty around how we can achieve the goals. And I can promise you, if I could stay the rest of the day, I would shoot holes in the goals that you set. Because we set shitty goals. We set things that are to-do list stuff. We set things that maybe should be doing. I didn't do it last year. Let me do it again. See if I can maybe a bit better this year. I'm feeling a bit better. I'm motivated. Maybe I'm going to do it. You have to set the right goals. And those goals have to be something in it for me. What I saw at the end of last year for myself, for our team of coaches, And every single business we work with that I asked this question and really unpacked it. Effort in, money, satisfaction, enjoyment, happiness out, massive disconnect. We're putting in this time, effort, blood, sweat, tears, stress, drama, depression, health issues, relationship issues, waking up at night, stomach ulcers. But what we're getting out of our business is not in proportion. Well, then we're going to start out at 10 with motivation. We're going to have the lies that you've put here around certainty of achieving our goals. And then by February, March, April, tired, depressed, more of the same, all the rest of it. So today, setting the right goals is critical. And then, and Marlene will touch on it today, it's 13-week cycles. Between growth clubs, every quarter, it's 13 weeks. 52 divided by 4, pretty simple. That's the cycle that we go about creating the hurdle and keeping at the progress, one 13-week cycle on another, on another, on another. Human beings are exactly like teenage children. They cram for the exam the night before. We forget about our actual goals because we're so busy every day. And the night before the end of the year, we go, oh shit, didn't achieve these goals. No, that's why we break it down 13-week cycles. So I want you today to have 5 goals. Not just for today, not just for the week, not for the quarter, for the year. Because the 13 weeks is going to break it down to say, okay, what progress must I make in the next 13 weeks? First and foremost, you need a health goal. Because it amazes me how we've seen people dying close to us. Whether it be COVID and a range of other things, because people are still dying of other things. We've seen people dying close to us. We've realized the preciousness of life, but we've done sweet blow stuff all on looking after our health. You go, well, how is that possible? And every time somebody dies or gets a disease close to us, we go, oh, she's health is so important. But we do bugger all about it. Health is all you've got. And all of us know somebody that's got some form of terminal disease. Speak to them around the importance of health. It's too late when it's too late. So you have to have a health goal, and that needs to be a priority. I'll talk about priorities now. Health goal number 1. The second goal is wealth. What is your wealth goal? Now, whether that's to get to a certain level of income to pay yourself what you're worth, whether that's buying your first investment property, whether that's a certain amount of passive income, whether that's a certain net asset value or a net asset value growth. I don't care what your wealth goal is. You must have a wealth goal. And a guy said to me last week, oh, yeah, but Harry, it's not just about the money. So heart full of hearing that, because I only hear that from people who haven't got enough money. It's always about the money until you have enough of it. And like a guy said to me yesterday, yeah, but money can't buy happiness. I said, of course it can't. He says, but I must admit, when I've been under financial pressure and I'm stressed, I'm a lot less happy than when I've got enough. And I'm not saying money must become your sole focus, but without money, without financial wealth, and yes, you can have wealth of relationships, wealth for all these other things, you have nothing other than your health, which is the priority number 1. Because if that wealth gets taken away, if you lose your financial status, your income, your assets, how do you provide for yourself, let alone your children? How do you give a better future to those that are your loved ones? How do you impact other people? How do you help other people? How do you fund growth? How do you tick things off your business plan, off your bucket list, off your life plan? You can do shit, excuse the word, without financial wealth. And many of you looking at the ages, you know, we're all similar ages here, give or take a few years. We're the sandwich generation, where you end up having to look after kids and still having to fund potentially parents who don't have enough money. You don't want that for your kids. So health first, wealth second. Then personal goals. You're still nowhere near business yet. Then your personal goals. What am I excited about achieving this year? What do I want to get out of life? So irrespective of the knocks I'm going to take, which I am going to take in life, in business, in finances, in relationships, if you don't think you're going to take knocks, rude awakening, you will. But what's it for? So that when I get to the end of the year and I look back, I go, yeah, it might have been a struggle. It might have been a challenge at times. I might have fallen down at times, but I ticked off a very big what's in it for me. So health is all you've got. Wealth needs to fund and provide for everything. Second, personal goal, the third one. Then I look at the business. What business do I have to build that can help me achieve my personal goal? And for that, I'm going to need time and money. Help me hit my financial goal, for which I'm going to need time and money. Help me reach my health goal, for which I'm going to need time and money. And that's the business I build. Because it amazes me. When our kids are small, unfortunately mine aren't anymore, when they're small, they're relatively cheap. They're cheap to have. Nappies are expensive. They pale into insignificance when it compares to school fees. We get school fees in primary school, we think this is not too bad, then they go to high school, shit, rude awakening. They go from that, and if you're not in one of the most expensive schools in the country where you get a discount, most normal people, when their kids go to varsity, it's again more money. Well, we're always finding money to fund that. Why? Because we have to. It's our duty, it's our role, it's our pleasure, it's our commitment, it's our passion to our kids. We have to find the money to fund them, even though we might have to sacrifice ourselves sometimes, and therefore we will. Well, if my business doesn't have to find the time and money to support my personal goal, to allow me to hit my wealth goal, and give me the time to ensure good health, then it won't. It's simple, because we'll just stick with the vanilla, we'll stick with the comfort zone. But if it has to, it will. So then we look at the business goal, and the last one is contribution. So for me, my goals are family, fitness, fortune, fun, for others. I've added the for others. Contribution. What are you doing for others? And how are you looking for opportunities to contribute to others? Because every single one of us on this call, irrespective of your situation, you are better off, listen to this, better off than billions of people on the planet. Not millions. There are billions of people in the queue behind you, in the terms of knowledge, roof over our head, food on the table, opportunities, lifestyle, health, fitness, education. Billions of people behind. And we're worried about the 2 or 3 of our rich friends instead of the billions of people in the back of the queue. And that saying, in giving you shall receive, you sow and it will be returned, in many ways, not just financially, in personal, in perspective, in gratitude. And it doesn't have to be elaborate things. It doesn't have to be elaborate things, but have a focus to say, what do I want to do when I'm setting goals that can contribute to others that are less fortunate, don't have the opportunities, irrespective of how big or small it is for you. And that's the focus. Health first, wealth second, personal third, business fourth, and then contribution. And you build it from the bottom, from the top down, and then you manage it from the bottom up. And then it comes to priorities, and that's the last thing I want to talk about before we go to tea. If it's not in your diary, it will not be done. So we go, oh, really, my health's really important. Good, show me your diary. Where is health time? There's no meditation time. There's no eating right and preparing bigger meals rather than stopping at the drive-through. There's no time for exercise. It's not in my diary. Well, then other things will always take preference. Oh, my family's really important. I want to spend more time with my kids. Right, bring me your diary and show me where's kids' time. Nobody's got kids' time in their diary. The kids have to fit in between all the other crap we're doing. Well, how important are kids to you? My husband and I are really going to work on our relationship this year. Good, show me where's husband time. What you do in that time is up to you, but where's the time in your diary? Well, there isn't any. Then you're going to fill it with other shit. Where's the time for sales and marketing in your diary? Where's the time for staff training? Where's the time for seeing my most important clients? Where's the time for presenting my business plan to my bank to get money? Where's the time to prepare the funding proposal? Where's the time to research? Where's the time to learn? If it's not in your diary, it will not get done. So if we look at our hierarchy of priorities, health time needs to be in your diary. Wealth time needs to be in your diary. How are you going to generate wealth if you don't have time to focus on it? Personal goal time needs to be in my diary. And therefore, I now have to fit the business in and around that. If I'm really suck, and I'm like that, I suck at exercising in the afternoon, because if I leave work on time, which never happens, if I do, by the time I get home, the last thing I feel like doing is exercise. I know that to be true. So if I don't do it in the morning, it's never going to get done. Well, then it needs to be in my diary in the morning, doesn't it? If you're more going to do it in the afternoon, great, then leave work on time, tell the kids or whatever to start food, or the husband to start the food or whatever, and then put some time in the diary after work for exercise. But if it's not in your diary, it will not happen. And too many of us are trying to squeeze our priorities in between other stuff. Good luck. You'll have another shitty year. And that's not what we want for you. That's not what Marlene's going to help you create. So 5 hierarchies of goals and the diary to support that. And then quite easily, you've got the certainty of 7, 8, 9s and 10s to match your passion and your energy and excitement for the year of 7, 8, 9, and 10. Business is not supposed to be easy. It's relatively simple, and Marlene will make it very simple for you. But if it was supposed to be easy, everybody on the planet would be doing it, and they're not. So have the focus, so it helps me deal with the bumps. It helps me deal with the lack of ease. The coaching will make it simple, but it will never be easy. But if I know what I'm chasing and the value between what I put in and what I'm getting out is in balance, best year you've ever had. So put in the time and effort today to do it properly. Challenge yourself, challenge each other, challenge Marlene to challenge you to get the right goal and the right focus so that you truly can have the best year ever. My best year in my whole life was when I would turn 40, which was now 6 years ago. That's unacceptable. What's happened the last 5 years? So my intention this year is to now beat that year. Well, that was a pretty big year for me. So I've got work to do. But now I'm excited about doing it. And I encourage you to do the same.